Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Man Up. I got Teddy here. Hey bud, watch the camera. Here. If you're watching you can see him, if you're not, I apologize. Today we are covering something that I wrote a little bit in a newsletter that I just sent out. If you're not a part of the newsletter, click the link below. Down. The video if you're watching, and sign up. You'll get some good tips on the stuff we talk about in the podcast and other stuff that we talk about in articles on the site. So on this newsletter, I covered a book. It's called The Depression Cure by Stephen Ildari. He has some interesting observations about depression. And the cure is to essentially do manly shit. If you look at society and how we have developed at a rate that our genetics have not been able to catch up to. So genetically we're programmed and designed and made to be hunter-gatherers and warriors. That's what men are. You look at men throughout history. They can't get pregnant, so they're not the ones that have to stay taking care of the children, having children dependent on a protector because they are in that state of pregnancy. It's just how things are. Women are amazing. I love women. We've had different roles for thousands and thousands of years because we are different. Not better, not worse, but different. So we have been warriors and hunters and gatherers for thousands of years, and in the last 200 years, maybe, the last little while, fucking scratching. Let him do that. Last little while, we've changed. We've lived very monotonous, sedentary lives. We sit down for the majority of... Jeez. We sit down for the majority of our days. That's from a physical standpoint. From an emotional standpoint and why we're here, our purpose, it has changed from a very literal need to survive, to find food, to conquer lands, to kill bad people, to kill people trying to take our lands, to an existence where, if you boil it down, we are essentially buying shit to impress people we have no business of impressing because we don't like them. A buddy of mine, I had a conversation with a buddy of mine. He took his lady out for dinner and he just looked around. And you do this when you go out to places, people act as if they're in a reality show. They dress, they act, they talk, their mannerisms, all this stuff is done as if people are watching them. We live our lives like it's a reality show. It is so stupid and silly, and we give the reward or the satisfaction of what it is to live a good life. We give that judgment to other people. It is fucking stupid. We don't really know why we do what we do. We do what we do for vain, idiotic reasons, and the majority of us do this. We buy stupid stuff. I buy stupid stuff for no reason. And so this author, Stephen Ildari, studied hunter-gatherer civilizations that still exist. One of them is in Papua New Guinea. Now, if you've seen the show Uncharted, awesome. If you haven't, it's on the Outdoor Network in the States and on Wild TV in Canada, but it isn't, so I had to buy the DVDs on jimshockey.com. So go to that site, jimshockey.com. It is the best show I've ever seen. It's like what's his face? What's that guy's name? That he's like a cook. He goes around the world tasting different cuisines and learning about their culture and stuff. And so Jim Shockey, Anthony Bourdain, that's the guy. So this is like a hunting version of that show, similar to it. So he goes all over the world, and the only way to really get into a country and really see the country is to hunt. or to do it with a weapon. Like, you come to Canada, you're going to see cities and towns, but you're not going to see true Canada unless you are hunting, unless you're in the backwoods with a gun, a bow and arrow, whatever, stalking an animal. That's the best way to see a country. So he gets into these civilizations, and one of the ones he goes to is Papua New Guinea. So I actually got to see these in the first episode of Uncharted. I got to see the people that Ildari, one of the groups that he studied. So you look at them, and they are devoid of everything that we deem as important. They have no things. They have no shoes. Very ratty clothes. Their houses are probably smaller than this office. And yet there are virtually no cases of depression. So his hypothesis or theory is that depression is a societal construct. It's the result of civilization, not the result of some problem with humans. Because you look at these hunter-gatherer civilizations that live as humans have for thousands of years, they don't have depression. So you look at the physical. What are they doing physically? Forget the emotional things, how we compare each other and this and that. They don't have access to things that we live for. We live to buy things. It is retarded. We live to buy things, and we place our value as men in the things we buy. We judge other people based on what they have. We see their value as humans judged on what they have. But if we are boiled down back to our original purpose, being good at being a man will hold incredible value. That is, you look at the tactile virtues. I haven't brought them up. I should bring them up. But I think it's, you have to be game. You have to have skill. Those are, and courage and honor. But gameness and skill, that is, you have to have the ability to want to fight, even though it might do you bodily harm, but you have to have the skill to be good at fighting. So you have to have the strength, you have to have the wherewithal. That's a part of being good at being a man. So you look at some of Ildari's findings, and one of the things he says that they have that we don't is a lifestyle that is active. That is, they're hunting 4-6 hours a day. You look at these people and they're shredded. And you look at our lifestyle and we're sedentary for the vast majority of our day. If we do go exercise, it's for an hour a day, and we probably get there by way of vehicle. So he says if you could bottle exercise into a pill, it would destroy all antidepressants. It would be far more powerful than anything that humans have created to get rid of depression. But one thing he doesn't talk about is where they are and what they're doing exercise-wise. They're hunting. They're doing what men have done for thousands of years, and that is something that we are almost outlawing in our society now, where we're raised to see animals like we see Bambi. We're shown these movies, Jungle Book, where Baloo is a bear and he's friends with a kid. If a bear went up to a kid, it would be dinner for that bear. We don't see nature as it is. We don't see life as it is. And it removes the ability for a lot of guys who are of the ideology that you shouldn't hunt, that you shouldn't do manly shit, that you shouldn't be overtly manly, that you shouldn't fight, that you shouldn't war, that you shouldn't do the things that we've done forever. It removes the ability for that guy who believes in that to be a man, to feel the fulfillment of being a man, and to feel the pride of what it is to be good at being a man. So a lot of the emails I get are questions saying, I don't feel... Little fucker got his leash. They're kind of questions saying, I don't feel like a man. I don't have that in my life. And the answer is simple. Get good at being a man. Go do manly shit. Go hunt. Go join a boxing gym. Go out with your buddies and drink. Bed your woman. Do things that are overtly manly. This has nothing to do with being a good man. It's a totally different topic. But manly shit, exploring, conquering, all this stuff that we get a surge of testosterone when we win a fight. We get a surge of testosterone when we lift heavy weights. Testosterone's an antidepressant. We need testosterone. But so many guys aren't doing the overtly manly stuff that they need in their life because they think it's archaic. They think it's somehow sexist or whatever. But the reality is we need that stuff, and we've never needed it more than we need it now as depression spikes like never before, and sales of depression medication has never been higher. So it's obviously not stopping the rise of depression, this medication that we're using. He found some other things like community. We need more community. Again, you can't have community when the government, not to get government again, but when a government's tasked with taking care of its people, that is giving government subsidies, healthcare, all this stuff. When a government is the caretaker, you can't have the same sense of community that you do when your brother, when your neighbor is the caretaker. So I think we need some kind of revolution. That's just me, but we need to be in a community. You can have your own community. You need your fellas, you need your friends. You need those relationships as much as you need to do manly shit. But for this podcast, I just wanted to highlight the importance of doing manly shit, of being good at being a man, removed from being a good man. We can cover that another time, but no matter if you think it's archaic, whatever, you need to go out and do manly shit because that's what we're genetically programmed to do. You need to learn how to fight. You need to get in great shape. You need to go hunt. You need to do all this stuff if you want to feel like a man. If you want to have that pride in feeling like a man, if you want to have that mental stimulation that comes from doing some pretty brutish shit. So get out and do it. I'm going to cut this podcast a little short. I think that's 12 minutes. That's not that short, but Teddy's being an absolute shithead right now. He can be a handful, and my printer's about to fall down. But again, if you're not on the newsletter, I covered that in the latest newsletter. Sign up to that shit below if you're watching the video. I hope you guys are doing awesome. Schedule at least one manly event. It could be hiking, getting out in wilderness. Schedule one thing. In your week, I've taken upon myself, I could get stuck on my computer for hours and hours and hours writing and doing all this stuff, but Teddy, hey, just got my sweater. Not on a quality of life scale, where it's not just about money and succeeding in the sense of the way that society tells us to succeed. We need to do manly stuff. We need to get outside. We need to have that camaraderie that so few guys seem to have these days. So schedule it into your life. And those of you that are watching, we'll say goodbye to Teddy. Hey, come up. There you go. There you go. Say bye, bud. Hope you guys are doing well. Schedule one thing. Actively schedule one thing. Even going to the gun range, going to the boxing gym. Schedule one thing. It's about that feeling of being a man and being good at a man. Being good at being a man that we all need, that so many of us aren't getting in our lives, that we need to schedule into our lives. Or else we're just not going to feel that fulfillment, that we're not going to feel like a man, and every man needs that. We require it. So, have an awesome day. Click the link below to join the newsletter. And I'll see you guys soon.